We are fucking live and waiting for Teddy to get his slow bear ass in here.
Yep. What's up?
It's fucking been gone since February. Jesus Christ. It's all
It's
my
really been
fault, people.
it's really been that long since the last one.
Yep, it's all my fault. My fucking webcam shit out and I was fucking lazy and didn't get a new one, and now I have a new one and we're back in business. My
Hey,
webcam,
I
I
was
had a
lazy.
webcam. Go ahead.
I was lazy too. Plus, I was staying over at my parents' place at the time, so any chance I had to do podcasts was pretty much null and void.
The whole time we've done this podcast, I've been using a fucking webcam from like 2009.
And that
So
finally
like,
showed on you.
yeah, the USB uh, plug finally went the fuck out. But okay, I want to make my goddamn statement that I want to make about Dragon Ball Super. They are not going to call Kale's fucking Super Saiyan form legendary Super Saiyan. Why? Because there's no goddamn reason for them to call it legendary Super Saiyan, because Universe 6 Saiyans didn't even know there was such a thing as a Super Saiyan. They were completely mystified by it. There would be no legend of a Super Saiyan, and therefore they would not call her the legendary Super Saiyan. They're probably going to call it Super Saiyan Green or Super Saiyan Devil.
Makes
Just
sense.
common sense here. We're not
Makes
talking
sense.
about we're not talking about a U7 Saiyan achieving that form. We're talking about a Saiyan from a universe that did not have Super Saiyans. I'm not even sure they even had tails. They seem to not.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense to me. Plus, not the concept of legendary Super Saiyan, but the name itself has always been stupid to me. Because when you think of a legend, you think of something that's never been seen before, something that just gets passed around a campfire, but you never really witness it for yourself. If you're
Yeah.
able to see and achieve it, then it's not really all that legendary, is it?
Yeah, I never got it myself. How is he the legendary Super Saiyan when no, he's not. He's a fucking Saiyan that was born like 30 years ago with a high power level and has a unique Super Saiyan form.
I mean, it's
That's
not really all that legendary if other people can do it as well.
no shit. But everybody keeps insisting to me, no, they're going to call it legendary Super Saiyan because they want to canonize Broly. And I'm like, Broly doesn't fit into the goddamn storyline no matter how you cut it. He does not fit into the storyline.
And see, that's another thing that pisses me off. Even after we have gotten a name for her, for Khalifa and Kale, they still insist on calling her female Broly. That's something that pisses me off to no end because it takes away from the development and character dynamic that she could have as just being herself.
Yeah, because what I understand, they're actually developing her as a character, which is more than we can say for Broly. Broly never got any character development. Broly got one scene which had the stupidest line in the entire movie where Vegeta walks up to him. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" "Broly, sir." "I suppose you're a Saiyan too, right?" Yes, Vegeta, yes. The son of the Saiyan you just met is also, in fact, a Saiyan. Yes. Good job, Vegeta. You can put two and two together. Seriously, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's like meeting a black person and then meeting their son who is also black and saying, "So I guess you're a black guy too, huh?"
Like, no, really, you think?
But after that, the only thing I can remember is those scenes of him like sitting there trying to control his rage and then attacking Goku and then attacking Goku again and then going super legendary Super Saiyan and kicking the ever-loving piss out of everybody there.
I will give Broly Legendary Super Saiyan movie this. The one-liners from Broly in that movie were pretty funny, in my opinion. But that's nothing towards the actual development for the character. You know who else had funny one-liners in certain movies? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who would be great as Broly in a live-action movie, if he was younger at least. But now, today, only Brock Lesnar could play him. I can actually see it. I could see Brock Lesnar just deciding to get silly one day and starring in a Dragon Ball movie. Like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I've never been in a movie. More money. I've never been in a movie. I can add it to my repertoire. And I get to be the scariest motherfucker that ever appeared in Dragon Ball until they came up with Goku Black.
Which honestly is probably the hell.
You know, now that they've gotten to the Cell games in DBZ Abridged, and I've gotten to see that footage again, because I don't remember the Cell games very well up until Gohan actually goes Super Saiyan 2. I'm gonna have to agree with the Broly is stronger than Cell camp now, because they can keep up with Cell. They can't keep up with Broly.
The argument is why am I echoing?
It's not that bad of an echo.
Well, anyway, the argument is basically that regular Cell that's fighting Goku now is weaker than Broly, but the Cell that comes back after he blows up, that ends up doing the beam struggle with Gohan and that kills Trunks, is the one that's stronger than Broly.
Oh, that I agree with. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, I agree with that 100%. But Broly is stronger than just regular perfect Cell. Because it's not even a close fight with Broly. Like, he basically one-shots everybody.
I still love that line from the abridged movie. All right, give me your energy. I'm going to finish him in one punch, man.
I like what is a king to a god? What is a god to a non-believer? And then he immediately gets fucking crushed into a mountain.
So did you like the new episode?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty funny. I like the jokes they're making with the whole Hercule trying to explain away everything.
Magnets. What was that, sir? I put magnets under the ring and there's so much iron in my blood and it threw me back because I eat my spinach.
That makes sense. Ever heard of mirrors? Well, there you go.
That also makes sense.
I love that little voice. They've used that dude's voice several times in Dragon Ball Abridged. It's the same voice as the guy who, when Slug's ship lands, he goes, "Hi, Jesus! Hey guys, here's Jesus's death army." Something about what I said doesn't make sense.
They also use them in the Sword Art Online Abridged series.
I haven't watched that yet. I keep getting told I need to.
It's actually a really funny abridged series.
It's hard to motivate myself to watch an abridged series for something I've never even heard of.
Trust me, the regular anime for Sword Art Online fucking sucks a dick, but the abridged series is so much better.
What even is Sword Art Online?
You ever heard of the anime? I'm trying to think what it was. It's basically a virtual reality type
So it's
anime.
so it's an anime.
Yeah, they put on like Nerf gear and shit like that, get thrown into a video game world, and basically the Nerf gear during season 1 has a virus put into it to where the players can't take off the Nerf gear or exit the game until they actually beat the game. And if they actually lose in the game, they die in real life.
Huh. See, this whole time I thought it was based on a video game because it's called Sword Art Online.
Nope, it's basically a bunch of players that got trapped inside of a video game that can't exit the game until they beat it, and if they lose in the game, they die in real life.
Well, shit. What high stakes.
For
Where
season
the
1,
fuck, Eddie? Goddamn, slow ass bear would be late to his own funeral if he wasn't dead. He was like, yeah, right on, let's do it, like an hour ago. And then he got distracted. He found a picnic basket.
all right, guns loaded, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Oh my God, I remember that. I heard that was staged.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, that sucks. It'd be funnier if it was something someone actually did. Well, I guess since we're still waiting, I can talk about shit that I've seen and played since February. Finally got to play Arkham Knight because I'm a sadomasochist and decided, no, I'm not going to get a console. I'm going to build a computer and play the PC version of Arkham Knight. The one that was really bad. The one that caused them to take it off of Steam and issue refunds. And when before I had updated all my video drivers, the game was playing at like seriously 1 frame per 5 seconds.
Speaking of Arkham, we actually have a name for the next Arkham game.
Oh, really? What's it called?
Arkham Insurgency.
Arkham Insurgency. Well, that's strange because they said their next game was going to be a Superman game.
Nope. Something that I just looked up. New Batman game Arkham Insurgency leaks. So
I wonder what the fuck that could possibly be about, considering how Batman Arkham Knight ends.
I've never played Arkham Knight, honestly. The only 2 I played was Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Well, Arkham Origins, everyone calls that the bad one, but I think it's good enough. Knight it has a lot of plot problems, but it's a really fun game. It's rated M, so it's quite a bit more hardcore than the previous 3 were. And it has some genuinely fucking fucked up moments. Like, there's this mission in the game. The way the missions work in Arkham Knight is different than it was in the other one. You actually have to do the missions in Knight.
What was the one, like, with the whole, like, do all of them have, like, the Riddler things for you to go around and look at, or was that just a specific one?
That's all of them. And in Arkham Knight, if you want to get the full ending, you have to do all of them.
Because I remember when I played Arkham City that I got 85% of the Riddler things, but I couldn't get the rest of them.
I never finished the Riddler side quests in Arkham Asylum or Arkham City because I just did not care.
I got 85% of them, and then my PlayStation 3 I had at the time went kaput on me.
Oh, that's a bitch.
Yep.
Well, In Night, you have to do all of them, and they're all a fucking tedious pain in the ass. They're not even hard, they're just tedious.
That's what it seemed like for all of them, though, because it was more difficult to actually find them than it was to do their missions, in my
It's not
opinion.
as hard in Night to find them because you have Riddler informants and you have so much control over your gliding that you can just glide all around the city looking for dudes that are highlighted in green. And you'll find one every 3 minutes or so, max.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Well, it's for the crowd then. You can just hunt these fuckers down and get all your locations down and then basically mark them on a map one at a time until you collect all of them and you finally get to go beat the fucking shit out of the fucking Riddler. And it's so satisfying because he's such an irritating motherfucker in all the games, but they stepped it up so much in Arkham Knight that he becomes intolerable. He has literally been driven insane by being defeated in the previous 3 games canonically.
Who are you talking about?
I was just talking for whoever was listening. I said you can get the exact location of every riddle by using those informants, and then you get to finally beat the shit out of Riddler. And it's great because he's so much more annoying in Night than he is in the other 3 games. Because in Night, there's the PA system like there was in Arkham Asylum where they make announcements over a loudspeaker.
Yeah.
And he is always taunting you over that fucking loudspeaker, and they keep repeating the things that he says.
So, are you gonna check out the new Alien movie at all?
The what?
The new Alien movie?
Oh, I haven't seen it. I probably won't.
Take it you're not a fan of the series.
No, I'm not, and I didn't like Prometheus, and I've been told that it's a sequel to Prometheus, and yeah, fuck Prometheus. Prometheus was a terrible, terrible movie.
Well, that's something we could. That's something we could actually take a look at as movies that are coming out that we'd actually be interested in.
Not fucking many. The Dark Tower movie is coming out in August. I'm interested in seeing that, but I don't expect it to be good. I guess I'll go see it, but I'm actually expecting it to be better than the original just in acting because the original one was incredibly cheesy.
Have you seen Guardians 2 yet?
No, apparently that one is a bomb too.
Weird, everybody I know that went to go see it has said that it's actually better than the first one.
I haven't heard anyone say that. I've heard people say it doesn't hold a candle to the first one, actually. But see, the thing is, I am burned out on Marvel. I am finally completely 100% burned out on Marvel. I know I've said I've burned out on Marvel in our previous shows, but I am actually not fucking interested anymore. And the movie that broke me was Doctor Strange. I did not like Doctor Strange. I was really very bored. I was really, really very bored throughout the whole movie. I hated that Mads Mikkelsen or Michelson or whatever played such a fucking lame villain because I really like Mads Mikkelsen. The guy with the fucking eye, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I really like that guy. I think
I
he's a
mean,
better Hannibal Lecter than Anthony Hopkins.
you're not alone. I hated the movie too, as well. I plan on seeing the Avengers movie just because I've seen the rest of them.
Going into
But
the movie, I said, this is just going to be an excuse to introduce another fucking Infinity Gem. That's the only reason this movie exists. And I was right.
honestly, I can't wait till the whole Infinity thing for the Avengers is over, because at least that way, anything that comes afterwards will feel like
Now,
something
see,
new.
I'll go see that because that's what all this fucking buildup is for. But I don't want to watch 15 fucking movies to watch one movie. Like, I still haven't seen Ant-Man because I just don't give a fuck about Ant-Man. And, oh shit, I have no interest in seeing Black Panther. I really don't want to see Spider-Man because everybody's been shitting their pants over the fucking trailer saying, oh, it looks so good. It looks the same as the fucking Sam Raimi movies to me.
Honestly, I'm more interested in the Venom spinoff they announced than I am the actual Spider-Man.
Yeah, kinda. I would.
They announced who was playing Venom. You
Who?
didn't see Tom Hardy.
That's a good choice. I'm kind of interested in seeing that, but the way I had it described to me sounded like they were basically making the movie Alien,
But basically, coming up, we have the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie,
which I don't give a shit about.
which actually looks pretty hilarious.
I stopped caring about those movies 2 movies ago.
The Pirates movie.
Yes, I liked the third one kinda, but the fourth one was
I hated, I
fucking
hated the fourth one.
garbage. The fourth one
It
was
should have
fucking
ended.
garbage.
They had the perfect thing to end it with at the third one too.
Oh, the Baywatch movie. I'm not going to see that either.
I plan on seeing it. It actually looks pretty hilarious,
Well, I mean,
especially with the Red Band trailer.
I guess now that I think about it, I thought 21 Jump Street looked like it was going to be a piece of shit too, but I ended up really liking that. And I kind of get the same vibe off Baywatch. Because it's the same
Wonderful.
kind of movie. They're doing the same shit they did in the 90s, where they took shows from the 60s and 70s and made like comedy, like spoof movies of them.
Yeah.
Like the Beverly Hillbillies movie wasn't really anything like the Beverly Hillbillies or the Addams Family movies.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Beverly Hillbillies movie. I
Oh,
like
I
the
do too. I
I
love
like
that movie.
I like 21 and 22 Jump Street, and I also like the Addams Family. So
Yeah, I liked all those movies. I'm just saying they're doing the same thing they did in the 90s, where they go back a couple decades and make some parody movies of some old TV shows we all watched when we were young.
oh, speaking of movies and stuff, you remember a couple podcasts ago when we were all talking with Teddy and everything, we were talking about how they were making like the whole monster versus film series type thing.
Uh-huh.
Like how they were doing the whole King Kong, Godzilla, the Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced there was a trailer that came out for the new Mummy movie that announced basically what the next thing's going to be.
I saw it on my wall on Facebook without the sound on. And from what I saw, just by looking at the visuals, it looks to me like it's going to be almost the same movie as Queen of the Damned. Have you ever seen Queen of the Damned?
Yeah, but basically during the new trailer that came out yesterday, when they were actually showing more footage for it, someone actually walks up to who the hell is that actor that's playing in the movie?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, somebody walks up to Tom Cruise and introduces himself as Dr. Henry Jekyll.
Who's that?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, I never actually knew Dr. Jekyll's first name.
Yep.
I think Hyde's first name is Edward.
Yeah, Henry Jekyll and Edward Hyde.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a good Jekyll and Hyde movie in my whole life, so it'd be nice to see that done. I know there's supposed to be like a really good one from back in the like way back in the day, but I've never seen it. I didn't know Wonder Woman was coming out this year. I don't know about that one.
The only rendition of Jekyll and Hyde I have ever seen in my life was on Broadway, and I'm trying to remember what the dude's name that was playing Jekyll.
There's supposed to be a great Jekyll and Hyde silent movie that's supposed to be like Nosferatu level good, but people nowadays don't really like those movies because they're so old and so cheap and so bizarre. I mean, I like Nosferatu, but I I I can't imagine I'd ever invite someone over to just sit and watch Nosferatu with me.
I mean, I've never seen Nosferatu, so
It's Dracula. It's the exact same. It is literally the exact same story as Dracula. They wanted to make Dracula, and something went wrong with the rights. So they said, okay, fuck it. We'll make it anyway, and we'll just call it Nosferatu, the, I think, Hungarian word for vampire. And instead of Count Dracula, we'll call him Count Orlok. There's no way they would get away with something like that today. But
probably not.
yeah, they'd get called out on plagiarism like immediately. But they got away with it at the time, and it ended up being like the first. I think it was the first horror movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was definitely one of the first. But it's cool. The score is really cool. The visuals are interesting. It's interesting to watch them do all the to experiment with the camera and shit and try to do something special because film was a new thing at the time. And Count Orlok is fucking scary looking. He's one of the fucking freakiest looking vampires in vampire history. He doesn't he There's nothing sexy about him. Vampires are usually kind of sexy, you know what I mean? He's not. He looks like something that crawled out of the deepest pits of hell. But yeah, I would recommend seeing it. I used to have it on DVD actually. It had listen to it with a new score by I think Philip Glass, or listen to it with the original score. It was it kind of had a different the score gave the movie a different feel with each one because it's a silent movie. The score is everything. The
But
score
yeah,
the score sets the tone of the scene for you.
the only thing I've experienced with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was when I went to what the hell? Oh, it's the echo. I went to the whole Broadway thing in New York back in 1997 when
I do
Andrew,
remember I do remember the Broadway show.
yeah, which was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like a couple songs from it. I like the song when he transforms into Hyde the first time.
I like the one where he's in the church, basically towards the end of it, where he ends up killing himself. I think he ends up killing himself at the end, doesn't he?
I don't remember. Oh, Oh my God. Okay. I got something for us to cover. Okay, these are 20 remakes that are coming up. And you're just not gonna believe some of these choices. Okay.
Is that literally what it says as like a clickbait article? Or
No, it's from What Culture. It says 20 movie remakes you didn't know were in the works. And they're right. I didn't know these were in the works. Number
I'm just saying.
20.
I'm just saying the way you said it made it sound like these movies are being remade. You're not going to believe which ones they are.
Yeah, I did kind of say it that way. But no, literally, you aren't going to believe these fucking remakes. Like, I couldn't believe it. I thought they were fucking with me. I looked everywhere to see if this was like a parody article, but apparently this is all true. Number 20 is The Naked Gun.
Never even seen the original one.
I've seen bits and pieces, and The Naked Gun is a comedy classic that does not need a remake. Number 19 is Police Academy.
Okay.
Do you have any faith in a Police Academy remake?
Not really, considering the fact that I actually like the original one.
Okay, here's the only way I'll like the Police Academy movie. If every single sound effect in the movie is actually Michael Winslow, then I'll like it. If somebody on the team of making this is creative enough to get Michael Winslow to do every sound effect in the movie and make it really cheesy, then it'll be worth it. Number 18, Scarface.
So this is the third remake then.
Yes, this is the third remake. And maybe this time they'll actually cast Hispanic actors to play Hispanic people.
Because I know it was a 1920s one. They had the Sylvester Stallone one. And then
Sylvester
this.
Stallone.
Or whatever the dude's name is. I don't care.
Oh my God. That would be so
Hey,
funny. Scarface with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, screw it. Why not? Let's
say hello to my little friend.
That's
It's Al Pacino.
That's actually not half bad, honestly. Okay, what's the next one?
But no, seriously. I wanted to say something about Scarface. You know how they're constantly bitching nowadays about black actor or black characters being played by white people or white people being played by black people?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever brings up Scarface. Scarface had Robert Loggia playing a fucking Hispanic guy. Al Pacino is Italian. F. Murray fucking Abraham played a Hispanic guy. Almost the entire cast were brownface, and nobody ever mentions that. I don't care because it's a good movie, but I'm just saying.
I've never been really understanding of the whole whitewashing argument.
My question is, will it be about cocaine still, or will it be about a more modern drug?
But anyway, like, I heard a bunch of people bitching about fucking what's her face playing the chick from Ghost in the Shell, and I'm like, it's a freaking anime. It's not even real.
They draw them as white people. Hey, Teddy.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome back.
What are you doing?
Our first podcast since fucking February.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. We're talking about remakes that are being made. I'll go back and read the last three so you're up to date. All right. These are 20 movie remakes that are being made.
Just this year.
Huh?
Just for this year?
No, I don't know about this year, but they're being made. Number 20 is The Naked Gun.
Oh. good.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Number 19 is Police Academy.
Oh boy.
Now,
Well,
I made a choice on Police Academy just a second ago. I said I'll accept this movie if they have Michael Winslow do every sound effect in the movie.
he Foley's the entire movie.
Yeah, the whole movie, like cars, things falling on the ground, gunshots, everything.
Basically, every explosion, anything.
Yes, everything. That would be really funny.
Well, I heard that the Reno 911 guys were going to make another movie. You know,
I didn't know about that. I know Super Troopers is getting another remake. I
maybe
mean,
they line them all up. Reno 911, Super Troopers, and the Police Academy in one big mashup of a movie.
that would be a good movie.
I go see it.
The ultimate
Can you
bubbly.
can you turn your mic up just a little bit, Teddy?
I'm not sure I know how to do that. Is
Or
that
like
doing-
get closer to the microphone. You're a little quiet.
how's that sound?
That's better. Okay, in 18, where we left off was Scarface.
Oh man, wait. Well, they could do anything with that because the Al Pacino movie was a remake of a one of them movies.
Yeah, black and white movie. The original one was about illegal alcohol trafficking.
I got Al Pacino messed up with Sylvester Stallone for some reason.
Yeah, he thought Sylvester Stallone was Scarface.
Really,
Can you imagine that movie?
not Al Pacino, but Sylvester Stallone as Scarface. I could see
Really?
him playing Latino.
Fucking Taco
Latino.
Rocha.
I think it'd
I'm
be
gonna get you. Yep, I can see that. But he always plays Italian, even though he's not really Italian.
He isn't?
No. He's Jewish and French Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He's played Italian so long that I just assumed he was.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's why he plays Italian because he comes off as Italian.
Do you think Scarface will be about cocaine or meth or Molly?
I think it'll be about media moguls instead.
No, it'll be about some kind of illegal trafficking.
bath salts.
What if they go totally fucked up and make it about human trafficking?
What if they make it in the future?
The future?
Future's Scarface.
Oh my god.
Scarface 2049.
Trading
Yeah.
trading in that blue stuff from Lucy.
Well, I actually have in mind a sex robot trilogy. Right.
Okay.
In the movie, the sex robot trilogy is 3 epic science fiction films. But they're not really related necessarily. It's just different aspects of this world. And it deals with humans and cybernetics, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Ending Valley, and then by the third film, it's a bird, right?
You cut out there. What?
Sex robots are preferred over human, right?
If they ever make realistic sex robots, I could see that actually being a thing and actually happening.
I always thought with the whole advancements in sex robots and shit like we have today and shit, it wouldn't be surprising if someone were to actually make a movie like that to where the sex robots overtook like the whole female or male portion of the human race and nobody could tell the difference anymore.
God, that would suck ass if the apocalypse was caused by fucking sex robots.
Right.
Anyway, number 17 is I Know What You Did Last Summer, which seems so young to be getting a remake, but I know it's not.
And so generic to get a remake. You know?
Wasn't it like early 90s or early 2000s?
That was the mid 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, right after Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Isn't
And the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, even though it's not last summer anymore. It's I Still Know What You Did the summer before last. You know, it's the next year. It's not last summer anymore, is it?
this is the one.
Or my favorite. Go ahead.
Refresh my memory on this. I Know What You Did Last Summer is the one where they kill the guy by accident and then the hook hand dude chases him, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember anything else.
AKA plot for Scary Movie 1, basically.
Yeah, they run over a guy, and then some guy with a hook and a raincoat comes after him. Right?
Okay, number 16. Number 16. You're gonna giggle at this one. You ready?
Okay.
Roadhouse.
Oh.
We've known about that one for a while because Ronda Rousey was announced.
What's the best line from Roadhouse? Best line from Roadhouse.
I don't remember Roadhouse. I don't remember. Oh, wait. I used to fuck dudes like you in prison. That's the best line.
Exactly. Great line.
It's the only line that stands out in the whole movie.
Great line. But they stuck.
But we've known about Roadhouse for a while because they announced Ronda Rousey is playing in it a long time ago, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Because
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd be cool if it was a chick.
Fine. Nobody puts baby in the corner, right? I don't even remember where that was in the movie.
That was Dirty Dancing.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. That's why I don't remember where that line is in Roadhouse. Okay.
Yeah, you're mixing up your Patrick Swayze movies.
Right. And then the scene where they were doing the clay, right?
That's Ghost.
They make of the clay, and he's like, you know, and she's like, I like making vases of clay with you on the spinning wheel, and he's like, ditto.
Yeah. Okay, number 15. Number 15. I don't give a fuck about this one because I didn't give a fuck about the first movie. Sister Act. Does anyone remember Sister Act?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember it being popular, but I didn't care for it.
Is that what was that movie even about? Were they like pretending to be nuns?
I think
she's on the run from the mob. Just her.
Okay. So, okay. My next question is, isn't there an Eric Idle movie that has the exact same plot?
Yeah. And there's a movie starring Sean.
What's that?
Starring who? You cut out real bad. I caught De Niro.
De Niro and Sean Penn playing priests.
Oh.
Well,
the Eric Idle movie, they pretend to be nuns.
Nuns. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's a very common thing.
Number 14. Number 14. This is the worst idea, I think, on the whole list. Ace Ventura.
Oh, who are they going to get to replace?
Huh?
Who will they get to replace Jim Carrey? Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if that's been decided yet.
Ace Ventura without Jim Carrey, I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I like who could play that role. It's such a Jim Carrey role.
Zach Galifianakis.
You know, actually, I can see that. It would be a little bit. It would be a little different because it's Zach Galifianakis, but I could see that.
Well, whatever they do with Ace Ventura, he's not going to be Ace Ventura. He's going to be some new, wacky, eccentric guy who.
Who's the fat guy that played alongside Channing Tatum in 21 Jump Street?
Oh fuck no, not Jonah Hill.
I could just see him doing it. It'd be so bad though. But that's someone I could see him actually casting.
Jonah Hill cannot carry a movie on his own.
Okay, name some guys who wear Hawaiian T-shirts.
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is Ace Ventura.
Do they have to be actors?
Oh, I have to make a public calling out on Teddy on something.
What?
He did a video about Steven Seagal, and he completely failed to mention that in every Steven Seagal movie, he is under siege. He is hard to kill.
I mentioned that in another video.
Did you?
I mentioned
Okay.
it again in that video, but he's not all the time. Is sometimes
90% of the time.
And the good ones anyway. Definitely the good ones, right?
There are no good Steven Seagal movies. What are you talking about?
There's cheesy ones.
Above the Law is pretty good. Marked for Death is pretty good. Under Siege is pretty good.
Ever notice that Steven Seagal has exactly one facial expression?
Yes.
And
Dude, the stories of Steven Seagal. Oh man.
he's a rapist.
So basically, he's pretty much the male version of Kristen Stewart or whatever, who plays.
No, because Kristen Stewart won the Razzie Redeemer Award. Hollywood has decided to forgive her for Twilight.
What did she win the Redeemer Award for?
She won it for Camp X-Ray. She's apparently very good in that. And I've been told by multiple people now that she was in a movie where she played Joan Jett and she fucking nailed it.
Then again, from what I heard, a lot of the actors just didn't give a shit.
They didn't. By the second movie, they had all regretted signing up to be in all the Twilight movies, especially Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So what's next on the list?
Starship Troopers is number 13.
All right. I don't, even though the first movie, Starship Troopers, is a good movie, I don't necessarily have any problem with them remaking it.
If they remake it, it's going to be more like the book, and if it's more like the book, it's not going to be as good.
No. But if it's more like the book, then it's going to be very different than the movie. It's going to be right. But it's not going to be the movie that we know. It's not going to be. Would you like to know more? Although they might stick that in there just to reference the original film.
Starship Troopers, the book, is a very pro-military, fascist endorsing fucking.
Right, but they have mech suits in that movie, in the book.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So that will be the big difference. It'll be like, what was that Titan game on the Xbox?
No, I don't know. I don't have an Xbox.
But you know what I mean. It's going to be a big robot suits and the fighting bugs, right?
Yeah,
and that'll be a difference there.
I recently watched Starship Troopers again, and I was surprised at how well it kept.
Yep.
Like how good it stood up today.
Because of the approach, right? Because of the stuff that's done, and how it's like, how it's it's a parody almost.
It is a parody. It's a parody of the ideals of the book.
Right.
Number 12 is Memento.
No.
I haven't seen the original one, so.
Me neither.
Well, that's gonna fail.
Let's just skip to number 11. Number 11 is Rambo.
Fuck, I've heard about this. They've been wanting to remake it since, and then Rambo. Sylvester Stallone wanted to make The Last Blood. Remember that?
Nope.
Remember talking about? No. Well, okay. First movie's First Blood. So he was going to make Last Blood. Doesn't that sound brilliant, right?
They made a Rambo like in 2015, 2014, didn't they?
Yeah, John.
Yeah, but
Rambo.
but Stallone was in that movie. That's the thing. This is going to be a Rambo remake without Stallone.
Yeah, sounds terrible.
I don't think Rambo is the kind of character you can accept as another actor.
Kind of like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Or when they tried to do the A-Team or the Three Stooges.
Something like that. Or even Conan.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the Conan movie. I didn't like that at all.
It's not that he didn't have the look that he had in those in the classic artwork, right? He did.
Oh no, he looked like Conan. It was just a stupid movie.
It's just it's basically there's certain characters that you just can't recast.
I mean, the first Rambo isn't a terrible idea for a remake because it touches on issues that are like actual issues. I'm just not sure I can see somebody else's Rambo, and they're probably going to have it end with the horribly depressing ending of the book.
Right. Well, I mean,
because he dies in the book. He died in the original ending of the movie too.
Right, and he had more dialogue in the first edit of the original movie, and he had basically cut out almost all of his lines.
The original ending is actually on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen it. That last scene of Rambo is so fucking heartbreaking when he breaks down and he starts like having flashbacks real hard and he just starts blubbering.
I think it's going to be a hard sell, especially with movies like more accurate military movies that they're doing now. Do it like that, like he's an Iraq war veteran. You know, I don't know.
I say fuck it. Go, just let it be Vietnam War. Just go ahead and do that.
That's what makes the remake even more pointless.
What happens to Rambo doesn't make sense in the context of the shit we're having now. People don't spit on fucking soldiers when they get off their planes and throw shit at them like they did to Vietnam veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what fucked him up was that he had to do all that shit and then he came back to a completely unappreciative country.
Right.
Number 10 is Weird Science.
Mm.
How much you want to bet it's two girls that make a perfect man this time?
I can see that.
That's my prediction for Weird Science.
Wearing jock straps on their heads.
Yep, wearing jock straps on their heads instead of bras.
I can see that.
That is my official prediction for Weird Science because I think the original idea will be considered too sexist, while my idea won't be considered sexist because it's okay to objectify men.
I could see that. But I could also see it just being a whatever movie with some wacky shit in it, and they just steal the title. You know.
Number 9. I don't know if either of you are going to know this movie because I feel like I am the only person in the entire world who remembers this movie. Flight of the Navigator.
No, I remember it. I remember that movie.
Do you?
And
I got a major soft spot for that movie.
You know, was it Paul Rubens was the voice of the ship guy?
Yep, and he did really good.
Right.
Like for half the movie, he's a very cold, robotic sounding robot, and you just can't tell it's him. And he does it so well. And then halfway through the movie, he scans the boy's brain and picks up like pop culture and a sense of humor. And he basically turns into Pee Wee Herman.
I could see that movie, the remake, being like, okay, I saw Pete's Dragon. I saw it. I sat down and fucking watched it.
How was it?
It was terrible. Oh my god,
Oh, damn.
man! It was. But it's just so bland with these little pieces fitting together. I could see how the Flight of the Navigator movie would work, but it's just bland. Just be like this. You know what I mean?
It's the simplest story in the world to tell, though. Boy gets abducted by alien. Boy wakes up 8 years later without having aged due to light speed travel slowing down time. Boy gets re-abducted by alien because he has the star charts that he needs in his head. And boy says, okay, but I want to go home. So take me home first.
Well, I think they might cut out the time travel aspect of it because that was confusing and weird.
It's not confusing if you know how light speed travel and time dilation works.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people, I think most people understand how time dilation works now. People are
Really,
smarter on that. People are smarter on shit like basic science.
should work on a flat Earth.
Okay, we do have a growing number of dum-dums, but we do have a lot of people who understand the fucking concept of time dilation just from how many times it's been explained in movies. When you approach the speed of light, time slows down.
Right.
It's not a difficult concept.
Okay, so I don't know.
It's basically the whole thing with, like, even in real life right now, it seems the faster you're moving, the slower things go
Now,
for you.
here's the thing. I really hope they don't change the look of the ship too much.
Oh, they will.
I liked the ship so much. It was basically all mirrors inside and it looked trippy.
Like liquid metal or something.
Like they didn't paint it. They shine metal real good to a mirror sheen, and it creates optical illusions inside the ship and makes it look like there's rooms that there's not and shit like that. It's interesting. It was a
Yeah.
visually interesting movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they will change the ship, right? They'll be more organic. Like if it sits in it, it'll hug them and shit.
Number 8, I'm not cool with this idea. The Warriors.
Yeah, I don't see how that's gonna work. It barely worked the first time.
Barely, just barely.
It was just this close to being silly.
Yeah, I would say it got over into the realm of silly. Like when they introduced the baseball bat gang and the guys who all wear roller skates.
Right.
But it's not a difficult premise. I mean, all the gangs get together and decide we're going to unite. Someone assassinates the guy suggesting it, blames it on them, and a price is on their head. Now they got to get back to their territory. It's not a terribly complicated plot.
Right. So they probably do it if it's handled.
And the way to get across New York has not changed much since the time this movie was made. Like there's still subways and trains and shit that they have to take. So that could all still work. They could basically make the exact same movie, but with a more modern flair.
Right.
My problem is though, it's I don't see them. I don't know if they'll keep to the every gang has a like really unique uniform that they wear.
Oh, sure they are, because that's part of the thing.
I don't know, man. They might try to make them all Crips and Bloods and shit.
It would just no. That would ruin it. That would just make it any other fucking gang movie. It has to live in this surreal kind of world for it to work.
David Patrick Kelly better get a cameo at least.
What, the guy who's still alive?
Warriors, come out to play! That guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. You gotta see him.
He should be the guy who's trying to propose all the gangs get united.
And get killed really early on.
Yeah, then he can have a big part in the movie, but not like have to be in the whole movie because he's old and he probably doesn't want to be in a full movie.
There you go.
Okay, next is another remake of a remake, Little Shop of Horrors.
Ah, come on.
That doesn't need to be remade.
There's no way it's going to be as good as the second one,
Right.
the one we all know best.
Right, and it's a musical and it's timeless in its own kind of way. So I don't see the point.
I think Little Shop of Horrors is very close to a perfect movie for what it is. I love every cast member in the movie. I love everybody in that fucking movie. I still don't know who does Audrey 2's voice. I don't even know if that's a man or a woman, but I love them. I love Rick Moranis. I love the chick with the squeaky voice. I love Steve Martin. It's all gold. The songs are great. They're fun to listen to. This doesn't need a remake.
They'll still have the same songs. In fact, they'll probably cast a Rick Moranis type. You know.
Well, you're assuming that it will be a musical.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm definitely.
The original was not a musical.
Right. But the musical is what everybody knows, and the musical is probably why they're going to do it.
Yes, but this is the era of Hollywood doing dark, gritty reboots, and Little Shop of Horrors is not a difficult story to make very, very fucking dark.
Well, I mean,
It's about a man who essentially becomes a serial killer because he's in love with another woman and is feeding them to a plant that eats people. It's easily turned into an actual horror story.
I could see them trying to do a horror rendition of it.
Honestly, I would prefer if they did make a horror movie version because I don't want to see another musical. The first musical is fucking fine. This is just like when Rocky Horror got remade and it was awful. We don't need remakes of musicals. Just do something else with the story. If you're going to remake it, do something different. With Little Shop of Horrors, you got a huge fucking canvas to paint a great horror movie about an alien plant that eats human flesh and blood, and a man driven insane by jealousy over a woman who's willing to feed this thing so that it'll help him. And then eventually Audrey 2 takes over the world like in the original ending.
Yeah, you were the original.
Number 6. I don't agree with this one because nobody can ever match Kurt Russell, Escape from New York.
Yep, I agree with you.
I have a major soft spot for Kurt Russell. I think he's a really underrated actor. He's cheesy, I know, but his cheesiness is what makes him awesome. He's the quintessential B actor, and he's the best B actor out of all of them.
I mean, how many times has Escape from New York been remade?
You mean like under a different name?
Yeah.
Well, Suicide Squad was basically Escape from New York.
Yeah, same premise, except you got a team of guys.
A
while ago, same kind.
There have been lots of movies that have taken influence from it.
Oh, sure.
But I don't see anybody else playing Snake Plissken. I won't be able to take them as seriously because he had a great look as Snake Plissken. But I might be biased because Snake Plissken is a direct influence for Metal Gear, and he looks like Solid Snake, and I'm biased.
Right.
It's just unavoidable. Number 5. Inspector fucking Gadget.
No.
This one I actually somewhat agree with, as long as it isn't Disney again.
I mean, it's attempt 2. The first one was blah.
Yeah. The first one is
The whole concept of Inspector Gadget, like if they actually did it more of like a type thing, too over the top, more, I could actually see
The
it
first
working.
Inspector Gadget movie was so terrible, though.
oh,
It wasn't just Matthew Broderick. It's because it's the whole idea of Inspector Gadget is kind of stupid. He's an idiot who, for some reason, was converted into a cyborg who doesn't really do anything but bumble around and fuck up while his niece does all the work.
well, I mean, if they do that storyline, nobody likes that.
I never even liked the cartoon.
Terrible. How do you do a live action cartoon? I don't know.
Number 4, Flash Gordon.
Fine.
I have not seen Flash Gordon. Wait, maybe I have. Wait. Does Flash Gordon have a really Asian looking villain?
Bald guy.
Bald guy?
The Fu Manchu.
Okay, yes, I have seen Flash Gordon, but it was years ago.
That's the one that they have. That's the one where they have the whole song saying he's the savior of the universe, right?
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all it needs for a remake, as far as I'm concerned. As a fan
He's
of
that-
the original.
He's played by that guy who shows up with all the cocaine in the Ted movies.
Right. Now, here's what I want to see. Sci-fi movie, jumping around, but just play a couple notes from the Queen soundtrack. The Queen soundtrack.
Oh, that was Queen?
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't recognize that. Now that you said that, I can hear it in my head.
And it's a great soundtrack. Put that in the movie. Otherwise, and some costumes, all in the production design. But the movie itself, it's not the plot that people like. Original Flash, which
It's the silly 70s-ness of it. It's borderline a surrealist movie.
It's the soundtrack and the crazy sets and costumes. As long as there's some of that in the remake, then it'll be good.
Isn't that also the movie with the crazy bird dude, the like black wing dude?
Yeah, with the big beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember little bits and pieces. I just don't remember the whole movie. Number 3 is Rotten. Number 3 is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but I've never seen that.
No.
Never seen it either.
Okay, so number two, get ready. It's raining men. Hallelujah. Masters of the Universe.
That movie's been in development for a long time. Who knows if they're actually going to do it?
We're going to get a He-Man movie, Teddy, and it's going to be the most homoerotic thing ever made.
Well, originally they had the guy from who did the Charlie's Angels movies ready to do it, right? That is.
It says it acknowledges in the article that this has been in development for a long time, but they now have a director attached to it, and it's the guy who's directing Thor Ragnarok.
Well, that's interesting because he has a very Masters of the Universe feel to it. The trailer for that movie.
Yes, it does, including the logo.
Right.
And number 1, and this is the most baffling choice out of all of them, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Well, I mean, if they go back to the book is better than the movie.
Well, of
movie was-
course it is. That's just how comic book movies work. But
I mean, extremely so. Extremely so. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was a well-liked graphic novel. It was like,
Am I the only one that actually enjoyed the movie they did last?
yes, you are.
Weird. I mean,
I'm
it's not
I'm
like a good movie, but I mean,
I'm extra pissed off at that movie because it's the reason Sean Connery quit acting.
yep, he's not Gandalf because of it.
Yeah, he said fuck movies, I'm done, because he was sick of starring in turds.
Right.
But yeah, that's the 20 remakes that are being made for some reason. And that's
Yeah.
not even including the ones that are coming out this year, like Baywatch, and let's see what else was. Wonder Woman is kind of a remake because there was a TV show.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
It.
Go ahead, Teddy.
It.
What?
It.
Clowns.
It.
The Clown. It.
Oh, it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Captain Underpants is getting a movie. That might be funny. Three Idiots. That sounds familiar. Is that a remake?
Don't think so, though I've never heard of Three Idiots before, so.
And then we also have what might end up being a remake of fucking Empire. The Last Jedi.
Yeah, Last Jedi. I'm not sure about that.
There's a lot of fucking red flags right now for me that this movie is going to be a copy of Empire like the first one was a copy of A New Hope.
Honestly, if it does end up being a copy of Empire, I'm probably just not going to see the last one.
Well, see, here's the thing. I acknowledge that it's a remake of A New Hope, but I still like The Force Awakens. I still think it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
I've actually started to hate The Force Awakens lately.
It's funnier than the original movie. It's better acted. The actors have a lot more charisma, and they're better actors just altogether. Mark Hamill was not a very good actor back in the day.
Speaking of rehashes, there's another Amityville movie coming out.
I consider the Star Killer base scene to be much, much, much more impressive than the Death Star scenes. And I really fucking dig the lightsaber battle between Kylo Ren and Rey, because that's what I want out of a lightsaber battle. I don't want all the fancy acrobatics and shit. I want two people trying their goddamnedest to fuck the other one up. Like at the end of Return of the Jedi when Luke snaps and just wails on Vader until he chops his arm off.
See, Rey is the reason why I actually started to hate The Force Awakens.
Why?
Because of the fact that her being able to just do those force powers and just have all that experience right off the bat with
well, so did Luke.
Yeah, but Luke at least
Obi-Wan never taught Luke how to fucking pull things toward him with the Force. Luke just kind of could do that. Obi-Wan never taught him how to do the Force choke, and I'm positive Yoda didn't either, but he knew how to do that. Luke is just as much a Mary Sue as she. The Skywalkers are all Mary Sues. They're all very, very powerful because they're the main characters.
Yeah.
I think Rey.
And what she did was simple shit, like again, drawing the lightsaber towards you and using the mind trick.
So anybody gonna go see War for the Planet of the Apes at all?
I hope to, because I am a very big fan of the Planet of the Apes series. In fact, there's only one that I do not like, and take a wild fucking guess which one it is.
Is it the one with the whole damn you all to hell?
Oh, hey, guys.
You
I gotta roll.
blasphemous son of a bitch. No, it's not the first one. It's the Tim Burton one.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have to roll here in a second. Stuff's going on. There's been stuff going on all over the place while I've been talking. All right, but I'm sorry, I got to roll.
All right.
Sorry. I'll talk again real soon, okay?
All right.
All
Right, later.
But no, the one I hate is the fucking Tim Burton movie, because fuck that movie. That movie sucks. That movie is a perfect example.
The one with the Michael Jackson looking ape.
I don't remember that.
I know there was like a monkey in it that looks like Michael Jackson.
There's a lot of random, stupid Tim Burton shit shoved in the background of that movie. I haven't seen everything in it. There's a lot of sight gags when they get to the Ape City for the first time. But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of like the old Planet of the Apes movies. I like the first one. Anything after that I didn't like, but the new remakes I actually like a lot.
Really, you didn't like any of the sequels?
Nope, did not. I liked the first one, hated. I tolerate the rest of them, but the only ones that I've actually really liked that I would watch over again if I had a choice would be the very first one and then the two recent ones.
I think the second one works best if you just watch the first one and then immediately watch the second one and consider it to be one big movie. If you do that, it's actually like a fantastic 4-hour movie, because it like, I don't know, it everything keeps escalating from the moment Taylor lands on Earth. Spoiler alert, it's Earth. And it climaxes with the world being destroyed because the apes and the humans just cannot get along. Which I'm sure is probably some kind of symbolism for the East and the West during the Cold War.
Here's something I'm totally going to be boycotting that comes out in October. My Little Pony, the movie.
I don't want to see that. I just want to sit in the theater and watch the people who buy the tickets. Because I'm thinking...
So basically just the movies around the time that it comes out. Probably go see Blade Runner 2049 or something like that and just sit out and just watch how many adults buy My Little Pony tickets.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the crowd is going to be mostly bronies and not little girls, and it's going to really creep out parents that don't know what bronies are.
Yeah, I see this as like a bad idea, at least when it comes to the whole movie-going experience for it.
Yeah, when I heard that they were going to do a My Little Pony movie, that was the first thing that popped into my mind is, oh my God, all of these parents are going to take their little girls to go see that. And there's going to be all these creepy bearded dudes there, some of them which might be jacking off because people get off to My Little Pony. I think it's called clop art.
Yep. Saw Legacy, a new Saw movie coming out. Although I still think it should have ended after the third one.
They're making the new Saw movie because the last one was so poorly received.
Honestly, overall, though, as like a whole series, even after they kill off Kramer, it's still not a bad series. I mean, they do well, like, putting the pieces together for the story if you actually pay attention to it.
It is a good mystery plot, but it gets really confusing around like the third and fourth one. Like I don't even remember the third and fourth one. I don't think I remember the fifth one either.
The one that I remember the most would probably be the fourth one, because that's the one after Jigsaw dies. The fucking chick from the first one, Amber, whatever the fuck her name is, takes over his work. She has the fucking guy and girl in the warehouse or basement or whatever trying to wait. No, the third one is the one where the chick kidnaps the two people to try and save the
Yeah,
dude's life. Yeah, that's the one I remember the most. The
I
fourth one
remember
is
that one.
black.
I remember the first three really well. After
Yeah,
that,
the
it
fourth one.
got
The
foggy.
fourth one is the one with the black cop. I remember that
Yeah,
because he bursts in through the door like a second before the timer goes off, and he ends up triggering something because he couldn't learn to have patience or whatever. And that was his whole shtick, was that he just couldn't have patience, and his lack of patience ended up getting people killed.
yeah. And then the third one, it was that the guy was so obsessed with revenge and by killing Jigsaw, he set off his wife's fucking shotgun shell collar.
Yeah.
Those movies have a weird dichotomy where they say Jigsaw never punishes the innocent, but he did right there. He
I
also did
mean,
it. Well, I guess he didn't do it in the last one, but in the last one, someone's wife gets burned alive for some reason.
I like all the horror movies. They're interesting to say the least.
I like him better than the fucking Hostel movies. Fuck those movies. Like, at least Saw has a plot. Hostel is nothing but gore porn.
Yeah, I tried watching the first Hostel movie, turned it off, couldn't get into it. I think I got about halfway through when I realized there's literally nothing for like story dynamic.
Nothing happens in that goddamn movie until like the last 20 minutes.
Which is weird though for me, because like I enjoy pointless horror movies and stuff, especially like there's that list of like horror movies that you were going down and shit a couple. I think it was last year or maybe longer before that. You were like having this mission of watching the list of most fucked up horror movies.
Yeah, I never finished that. They're not, it wasn't the most fucked up horror movies. It was the most disturbing movies of all time for their own reasons. They weren't all necessarily horror movies.
I enjoy pointless horror movies. It's just even when they're pointless, it needs to have some point of formal plot to it.
Apparently, Robert Englund has decided, fuck it, I'm going to play Freddy Krueger again, and they're going to make another Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'd watch it if it's Robert Englund.
It'd probably be better than the last fucking one was. I hated the last one.
I didn't hate the last one. I just didn't really like it as much as the originals.
Something about turning him from a child murderer into a child molester made him less scary. I don't know why.
I think the reason why people hate that movie though is because of the whole him being a child molester, because it just didn't sit right with a lot of people.
Well, I mean, it was always kind of implied in the original, but I don't know. He doesn't actually murder children in this one. That's the problem.
Yeah, the whole like with the 1980s Freddy Krueger and stuff, it's like the whole child molestation thing isn't something they could have really gotten away with at that time.
Oh, yes, they could have. They could get away with a lot in the 80s. People think that you can get away with more in movies today. You actually can't. You used to be able to get away with a lot more. But there's a Chloe Sevigny movie where she straight up sucks a dude's cock right on screen.
Hmm.
French movies have hardcore fucking all the time.
Justice League now.
There's this movie called Blue is the Warmest Color that's French that has the longest, most graphic lesbian sex scenes I've ever seen in a mainstream movie. Like, they scissor for 5 straight minutes. 5 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but that's a long time for a movie scene.
It's basically the average length of any porno video you'd find online.
Yes, it is basically porn because they're actually fucking. Like, they're munching each other's pussies and finger banging each other and eating each other's asses. There's no way to really fake that on screen when you're showing the fingers going in the vagina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the French have completely different standards on censorship than we do. Here, sexuality is by and large censored pretty heavily, but extreme graphic violence, not so much. Even PG-13 movies. The second G.I. Joe movie is where I coined the phrase the death lawnmower, where the heroes are basically all back to back and walking in like a circle around each other and just killing enemies like a giant lawnmower, just mowing through these people.
Yeah.
I do remember liking that movie though, more than the first one.
Okay, so information about the Jumanji movie.
The Jumanji movie is apparently going to be based around a video game instead of a board game.
No, from what oh yeah, it's based on a video game, but it's basically going to be called Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
That's because they're going to get sucked into Jumanji. You can tell that by looking at the pre-release pictures. It shows like The Rock and the rest of the crew standing in a jungle. So they're going to get sucked into Jumanji.
It is not going to be a remake because on the Wikipedia page for it, it says it's an upcoming 3D fantasy adventure and a sequel to the 1990 film Jumanji, the 1995 film. So
Well, then
they're
I'm
not
to learn how Jumanji transformed itself from a board game into a video game.
Yep, I will be right back. I need to go throw this chicken in the oven now that it's thawed and shit. So,
All right.
all right. What's up? Like I said, I want the meat in the season in. And then I have cook strong. I just saw last night that the seasoning kind of makes a little bit of a crust on the meat here.
This is Barely Audible Cooking Instructions with John.
But with the black pepper, brown cayenne pepper on
God, I wish I knew how to play videos on this, but I'm too dumb to. Maybe I can figure it out. Cameraman, screen share, chat, control room. Control room? Maybe that? No. Oh, I can turn up mics. Oh, yay. I'm learning things all the time. Settings? No. Okay, I guess let's do it this way.
I appreciate the other I can say that I'm more on my phone, that way I can what's up?
Are you back?
Yep.
Just as I thought of that joke, I decided since you were taking a while, I would do the Monty Python intermission thing.
And I was just seasoning the chicken and throwing them in the oven. So
It's either frozen pizza or frozen egg rolls for me tonight. I found these halfway good frozen egg rolls at my grocery store. They're like $1 a piece, but they're really big.
for frozen food, the only things I ever really go for is frozen burritos, and then they have like these Chili's type Chipotle bacon jalapeno poppers that I get.
I don't like microwave burritos. They're so dry. Like a burrito you get at a restaurant isn't nearly as dry and gritty.
Okay, so what were we talking about? Jumanji?
Yes, Jumanji, which I will see because, God damn it, I love Jumanji with my whole fucking heart. And I also love Zathura, which is, I think, actually a sequel. Like that, like, let me look this up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's actually literally a sequel.
You know, I have never actually seen Zathura before.
It is totally worth seeing. You'll see a young Kristen Stewart actually acting. It's about two boys, two brothers, and their sister. They're left home alone, and somehow they get their hands on the Zathura board game, and I can't remember how. Okay, hold on. Unlike the book, the film contains no Jumanji material and does not mention any Jumanji events. The film was, however, marketed as a spiritual sequel. So is it based on a book? But it is based on a book. Okay, is the book the sequel to Jumanji? The book is a sequel to Jumanji. So yes, Zathura is actually a sequel to Jumanji. But instead of jungles and fucking animals and shit, it turns their house into a spaceship, and crazy space shit happens. Like aliens attack them. Their sister accidentally gets frozen in cryo sleep for like half the movie. It's a really good movie. I would say it's not as good as Jumanji because like 100% of the movie happens within that house, while
Uh,
while
it,
Jumanji
says it,
had lots of sets.
it says it bombed majorly because of the fact that when it opened up alongside Chicken Little for Disney, and then the week after, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire came out, which basically killed any.
Ooh, yeah, there's no winning against those two. I remember Chicken Little being pretty damn popular, and Harry Potter was always popular. I wonder, I need to do some research to find the answer to this, but I'm curious how well the production costs versus returns was for the whole series of Harry Potter movies. Because I don't remember them ever really fading in popularity that much. The first one was the hugest one. Oh my God, they're making Harry Potter the movie. But people who liked the first one tended to like all the rest of them. And I remember a very positive reaction to the last one.
Huh, I didn't know William Peter Blatty died.
Who's that?
The director and screenwriter for The Exorcist.
Oh, damn. Oh, one neat thing in Arkham Knight, you get to play as the Red Hood.
Nice.
Yeah, and
They also
he uses his guns and actually kills people. He actually controls very differently from Batman. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the other ones. Nightwing and Harley are basically the same because neither one of them have a cape, but they can still jump around and shit. But Robin and Batgirl both play exactly like Batman.
the writer for no, he wasn't a writer. John Hurt died this year too. It was
Yeah.
an Alien and Harry Potter, and then the writer
I
or the
know.
studio executive and producer for the Looney Tunes died.
Oh, that sucks. And Chris Cornell died too.
I'm just going down
Apparently.
the list. I'm just going down the list of things because you don't exactly always see everybody that passes away on
No, some
Facebook.
people don't get very much news attention, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Farrah Fawcett's death got kind of buried in the news under Michael Jackson's death because they died on the same day.
Which makes sense. Ah, damn.
So funny enough, the first day, like the day they died, I had only heard about Farrah Fawcett's death. I didn't find out about Michael Jackson's death until the next day.
Roy Ford Smith died, if you know who that is.
Nope.
Production designer for Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, that sucks. The numbers are thinning.
Mm-hmm. You ever seen Young Frankenstein before?
No, but I'm familiar with the actors.
It's Mel Brooks, so.
Mel Brooks is dead?
No, Mel Brooks is the one that made the Young Frankenstein.
Oh. I was going to say, God
The
damn it, I love Mel Brooks.
If Mel Brooks died, don't you think that'd be all over Facebook though? Because it's Mel Brooks.
I don't know. I don't know how many young people know Mel Brooks.
A lot of people know Mel.
Yeah, people our age, but Facebook news spreads a lot through young people too, and you got to remember Mel Brooks's movies were 70s and 80s. Younger kids probably have no fucking idea what Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles is.
All right. So anything else we have to talk about?
Well, I would like to say that it would be great for him to make Spaceballs 2 The Quest for More Money.
Honestly, they should just make the whole entire, like, because Spaceballs was basically Star Wars knockoff, right?
Yeah.
Not just Star Wars. It was basically all sci-fi at the
Sci-fi in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should just do 2 and 3 and just do Empire and Return of the Jedi knockoffs with it, and then just throw a few other things in.
Or they could have them be parodies of like Bill Pullman is like an old fucker with a beard now. They could have him be like old Luke.
I think it would be funny how they were parodying Spaceballs originally off of Star Wars, but it was supposed to tie off of other ones as well. If they just made a Spaceballs 2, but it had a parody off of Star Trek movies.
Funny thing I never noticed before until the last time I watched Spaceballs. John Hurt, who is the guy who has the alien pop out of his chest in Alien, is also in Spaceballs having the alien pop out of his chest. I never noticed that before. I don't know how. But yeah, I'd say that's good enough for tonight.
All right, that's fine because I have to go watch this cooking anyway.
Yeah, I need to make something to eat myself.
We're making
Chicken.
big
All right,
chicken breast patties.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Later on.